Hello and welcome to episode 64 of the Fish Tank. So, doing the garden, digging for weeds. Will you still need me? Will you still feed me when I'm 64? Was some of the lyrics from When I'm 64 by the Beatles. It was a picture is displayed up behind me on the calendar. There, yeah, so it seems a bit harsh that, you know. Will you still feed me when I'm 64? It's a bit unnecessary, you know, just because someone's 64 doesn't mean to say necessarily they should be starved, but there you go. I mean, at the age of 64, some people won't even be retired, they'll still be working. So they'll be contributing to the economy in a positive way, and yet, you know, probably taxpayers, they could be getting starved. So if that's a situation that you know of, that 64-year-olds are getting starved, go out and stop it. This is all my episode number for 64, so I'm personally not getting starved, so you'll be alright, you know, don't worry or anything. So it's time for Apology of the Week. On last week's show, I foolishly said that the Fleetwood Mac hit Everywhere was from their 1977 album Rumours. That was wrong. It's actually from their 1987 album Tango in the Night. So sorry about that, my mistake. Not sure why I thought that was the case, but by the way, tracks from Rumours include Don't Stop, Go Your Own Way, and other songs as well, The Chain, and other songs as well. You know, I can't remember them all, but there's three of them for you. So, what's been going on this week anyway? Well, a lot of people have said that I look a lot like Alan Partridge. Bit unfair, you know. I once got the comment on episode 50 of the Fish Tank from Escape 1987 that I look like Alan Partridge. Yeah, fairly legitimate. I'm not sure why I keep getting the reputation of looking like Alan Partridge. I don't go, aha, or anything like that. But yeah, Escape 1987, I hadn't actually mentioned anything on there, I hadn't commented for a while, but I think he might have a different username. I think he might be called 4-Minute Warnings, presumably a reference to a song by one of the greatest musicians of the last 10 years, Mark Owen from Take That with his hit 4-Minute Warning. Or it could be after the Radiohead song 4-Minute Warnings perhaps, I don't know. So what's been going on anyway? I mentioned politics a lot last week, so I'll talk about sport, something a bit more, bit lighter, you know. Good to mix comedy and sport, sort of, you know. Just watch Monty Python's Fielding's always a good thing to do, mixes comedy and sport. But Max Mosley, the head of the Formula One Association, FIA, whatever it's called, he's apparently been having Nazi orgies with various prostitutes and things like that. Actually, he might not be prostitutes, he might not be paying for it. I think he's complaining, he says that not Nazi orgies that he's having. There are, you know, suggestions that he might lose his job. He's gone for meetings with the FIA, not IFA. And he's told his bosses that he should be punished, and he deserves to be punished, because he's been a naughty boy, and he should be hit hard. You know? Should be punished for what he's done. Although, perhaps suggesting to his bosses that he should be punished, you know? Leave that to your own time, mate. That's all I'll say. So, what else has been going on? The Olympic torch has been going through various capital cities, and people have been trying to put it out. It's sort of like, it's quite a good thing though that people are trying to put the Olympic torch out, because it's sort of, you know, bringing people together, which is what the Olympics is all about. I mean, I saw Paula Radcliffe carrying the Olympic torch, and she did a very strong protest about the Olympics and what she thought of China, because she actually stopped and she visibly showed that she didn't like it. She had a wee on the floor, and that's not on. But then, of course, I actually realised that's just what she does when she runs anyway. So talking about that, the London Marathon was there at the weekend in London, funnily enough, and it was winning a world record time, apparently by a man dressed as a pantomime horse. No, it wasn't. It was I can't remember who broke the record. I think they did it about 2 hours 5 minutes. But there were people who actually tried to cheat. Apparently, they got on a bus, tried to use transport to get up towards the finishing line. But unfortunately, they got on a London bus and public transport. I think it took them about 5 hours in the end to get 26 miles. But that's just the way it is. So I can never understand that. Why dress as a pantomime horse? I mean, you never get horses dressing up as humans to do the race, do you? Like an horse race or anything like that. So there you go. Also in sport, there's been Derby, lost 6-0. Must be embarrassing for any Derby fans. You know, their defence parted like the Red Sea, or as they now say, the Red Sea parted like the Derby defence. Because the Bible, the keen on football in the Bible, it's a very, very biblical sport. Noah, apparently an outstanding football manager, he created the 2-2-2-2-2 formation. So what he always used to play. So there you go. Anyway, it's time for the celebometer now. Anyway, I'd like a doctor on the show because you know, you get a lot of doctors on TV nowadays. Dr. Phil Hammond, Dr. Hilary Jones, Doctor Who, Dr. Gillian McKeith. But I read a story the other day that a doctor had gone up to someone, he met him, he shook his hand, and in a handshake he felt that the person's hand he was shaking was quite large and spongy, and realised he'd got this condition and he'd actually got a brain tumour. So he said, go and check it out, you could be ill. And he actually sort of like partially cured him just in a handshake. So get him on the show, could perhaps analyse me, see what's wrong with me. But there we go. So it's time for headlines of the week now. And this headline comes from the Liverpool Daily Post. And it says, no water, so firemen improvise. So, yeah, unusual. Not sure what they're going to do without water. Perhaps, probably make the job quite hard. Unless using that foam stuff instead to put it out. Or they could just be urinating on the flames to try and put it out. So very dangerous, you know. Unless you can like fire it quite high, you could seriously burn yourself in a place you don't want to get burnt. But, time for quote of the week as well now, which is a golfing quote from Peter Allis, the BBC golf commentator. He says, Sam Torrance smiles as he eyes up this 8-incher into the hole so he can score his birdie. So, you know, bit rude there. Not really. I know the US Masters is on sort of like quite late in the evening, so you probably ought to get away with that, but still, unnecessary, that's all I'll say. So there we go, that's all for this week's show. But before I go, I've just heard that apparently police stopped 2 men, one of them for drinking battery acid and the other one for chewing fireworks. Apparently they've let one off and charged the other one. So there you go, I'll see you next week. Goodbye.